How many of you have ever been so set aside because of somebody else's terms? You can't follow Jesus because of, here it is, Vanna White, showing you all what it's going to be. I still go back to my senior year in high school. I was a brand new believer. I became a believer three weeks before graduation. And I've said this before, but I came from a background of like drugs and violence and gangs and stealing and legal troubles and all kinds of stuff. Like my teenage years were very adventurous in all the wrong ways. And I get saved by Jesus, and a lot of things radically shift immediately. And I knew from day one that I was supposed to give my entire life to Jesus forever and serving him always. It's why I do what I do. And we had to do this dumb thing. And schools make you do dumb things sometimes. Where you sat in a big circle and you told everybody about your future, even though you're 18 years old and the future's as far as your nose at that point, you know? And I remember sitting in this particular group, and I said, I don't know what the long run looks like, but I'm going to be a pastor one day. And then Kelly Arthas, I probably shouldn't say her name being recorded. And I mean, it's high school, but I had the biggest crush on Kelly freshman year through senior year. She would not give me the time of day. Not even flinch at it, right? She looks across the room and she says, God can't use you. And I'm wagging my finger at y'all because that's how I felt that day. But she actually pointed her finger at me and just wagged it. You've been too bad. Wow. I could have stopped right there because she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. I had 18 years under my belt, and I had enough sin to keep me out of heaven forever. It just takes one, by the way. And if I had lived life on their terms, I would have missed Jesus altogether. And their terms are heavy. This is where Nicodemus is when he comes to Jesus. He understands their terms because he helped write them. And he comes to Jesus. Part of what we look at, right? Religion as a whole. And remember, when Jesus talks about the thief in John 10, the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. The opposite of, I've come to give life. In the passage, the most direct context is Jesus is talking about religious leaders as those who have come to keep people from God. Nicodemus would have been one of those people and one of those groups that Jesus is talking about just a few chapters later. Religion has handed us a set of mediators, both internal and external, that position themselves between us and Jesus, even though he stripped everything away so that we could come close to him. And some of those things that religion imposed, even if you're brand new today, never been into a church before kind of thing, even if you're new, religion imposed those things. History adopted them. When you think about the influence of the church historically, and pause here, I love the church. I wouldn't be here if I thought otherwise. There is a place and a purpose, and part of our journey is to discover Jesus fresh to help others meet him. There is a work for the church. And there is a work that sometimes historically we just dropped the ball on. Let's start admitting that. And go, let's walk towards Jesus in a way that Jesus says, this is who I am, right? So for all these things that get in the way, we'll call them gatekeepers. Here's one, the checklist. You have to meet the conditions before you can belong. The checklist. The checklist of your faith. When you do all the right things, then you get to be part of the community. And somehow we earn our way to being with Jesus on the cross because his death wasn't sufficient for us. I need this checklist to get it right. And when I get it right, then I can be saved. Then I can be restored. Then I can be renewed. But that gatekeeper, Jesus came to break. He actually would describe himself as the gatekeeper. He brings the sheep in. The checklist is a problem. The category, you have to fit this profile before you can approach. This is what's happened to the word evangelical as a whole. There are things in the framework of being evangelical that I absolutely love and will profess and hold on to for a long, long time. And then there are meanings that have been assigned to evangelical that I go, I'm not that at all. Unless you believe this way socially, politically, you can't come to our church. I know churches like that. And unless you believe this way theologically, you don't belong in our church. We allow the tradition to dictate the terms more than the Savior or the King who sits on the throne. And when we don't approach those kinds of things, we lose the community. I've gone to worship at Catholic churches during communion. I take it every time. Because the priest doesn't tell me who gets to take it. I'm part of Jesus' family. You ever go to a Catholic church, and you're not Catholic, and they tell you to do, like just walk up and do this? Why? I belong to Jesus, and communion is something he initiated and instituted as a means of relationship with him, not him. Him. So the category keeps people out. There are people who live in our community right now who look at the checklist and the category, who look at the sequence, earn it, prove it, clean up, then come. This would have been me. I didn't fit the sequence. I couldn't earn it. I couldn't prove it. I needed to clean up. I mean, I had gone to church before smelling like Saturday night, you know. But for a whole lot of folks out there, they believe the church goes, if you smell like Saturday, you got no place on Sunday. And Jesus says, I came to save sinners. So much so that he sat at their table and related with them without judgment, but compassion. When I can just get this sin right in my life, when I can just get this struggle organized in my life, when I can just do, then I can come, right? Jesus? We used to sing this song in churches called Just As You Are, Just As I Am, I'm sorry. Just as I am. That became very judgmental, just as you are, rather than reflective. But if we really believe that, these seats would be full. And if people in our community knew that just as they were, they could approach the throne of Christ. But there's these things that we've done. We've created this space, this sequence. When you get clean, then come through the doors. There's a verdict. Certain people are disqualified. The rules say so. And you put the disqualifications on, like you figure it out. Adulterers, divorcees, drug addicts, alternative sexual identities. Like, it's so bad in our own country. Like, if you're this political party or that, you can't possibly walk with Jesus. You know, we put all these verdicts up that say that person can't come. And just as they did in Jesus' day, gatekeepers create distance between the people Jesus came to save and Jesus. And some of us have fallen victim of those gatekeepers. Every encounter with Jesus feels like it becomes an audit. when the gatekeepers are in charge. And when you look at that audit, you feel like you're already failing. Just like the people of Jesus' day created spaces, gates, obstacles to keep people from experiencing God, we feel them today.